Yang Muhammad Isnaraissah Munirah, Deputy Minister of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change, representing the Honorable Minister, Excellencies, Sri Tan Sri Dr. Dato, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Selamat pagi, selamat datang, salam sejahtera. Very good morning to all of you. I would like to start by extending a very warm welcome to Yang Muhammad Munirah, the Deputy Minister, for taking time off your very busy schedule to be with us here this morning to represent Minister Yeoh, who conveys his apologies as she has to be at another function with the Prime Minister this morning. We are grateful to have all of you to be at our Strategic and Economic Outlook Forum. This is an annual forum that is organized to assess the state of the nation and the national economy at the beginning of each year. It is apt and timely to discuss the key issues and challenges facing the nation in 2019 and to review and discuss the risks and rewards of investing in Malaysia. The sessions on the economic and political outlook this morning will hopefully enable you to feel the pulse of the nation. It has been about 9 months since May 9, 2018, the 14th general election. Many Malaysians were excited with the change of government. The new Pakatan government has made much headway in resolving some of the problems inherited from the previous government. Although we still have some people who have felt that not enough has been done. The journey towards institutional reforms has just started, but it needs to be accelerated and implemented with greater confidence and determination. More people, more Malaysians also want to see economic plans and policies that can benefit the people and that would enable sustainable and inclusive growth and development. We are also at the threshold of a new digital era with digital disruption and on the cusp of the fourth industrial revolution. As such, we need, the business community in particular, need to address what I would consider the 3 A's and the 3 E's. The 3 A's being analytics, algorithms, and artificial intelligence that will drive the fourth industrial revolution. The 3 E's being employment creation, energy, and environment. And 2 of these 3 E's belong to MESEOF, the ministry, which we hope the minister will provide us with further information. To keep pace with rapid technological and social economic changes, we also need to focus on transformation. Organizations need transformational leaders in countries, and companies also need to have transformational leaders. We need to see our countries in the region becoming transformative economies. Today's forum hopefully will help us to identify the changes and transformation you would need to adopt in your own organizations to stay ahead. In determining the change we need to deal with, I believe that as a country, we need to also consider the 3 Ds. Number 1, the divide. The world is more divided than ever before. And also as a nation, we are affected and continue to be affected by racial, religious, and geographical divide, which we need to bring together. Secondly is debt. Debt will be a challenge, not only for companies and businesses, but also the nation. And the third D is digitization. We cannot be isolated from the growing digitization of the global and regional economy, which will also affect us in Malaysia and affect Malaysian companies and businesses. Big data will change our life and the way we do business. So we hope that in the course of our discussions today, and in the numerous sharing of ideas and perspectives in the different sessions, we can take into account these macro trends and challenges which will impact on us. I must thank all of our many speakers and moderators for your willingness to share with us your thoughts, your ideas, your perspectives, so that we can have a very useful exchange of views today. We are also delighted to be able to have the Minister of International Trade and Industry, Darrell Leaking, addressing us this afternoon with a special keynote address. And we're honored and delighted that the PKR President, Yang Muhammad Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, will be delivering the closing address at today's forum. So to all of our speakers, I say a very big thank you. I must also thank our major sponsor, Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, as well as our many other corporate partners and sponsors for your support of today's conference. Once again, let me thank Yang Muhammad Munirah for your very kind presence with us here this morning. Sekian, terima kasih.
A very good morning and salam sejahtera. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Michael Yeoh, President, Kingsley Strategic Institute, Excellencies, German Ambassador, Yang berhormat Kuching, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, on behalf of the Minister, she would like to apologize for not being, for unable to attend due to unavoidable circumstances, and allow me to read her keynote address. Let me begin by expressing my thanks to the Kingsley Strategic Institute, particularly Tan Sri Berry Goh and Tan Sri Michael Yeoh, for inviting me here today to the Malaysia Economic and Strategic Outlook Forum and giving me the opportunity to address all of you here. I bring you greetings from the Ministry of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change, and the Minister herself. I'm sure all of us here are eager to know what is in the store for the rest of the year and the near future, hoping to seek out new opportunities in this new Malaysia. I understand that the theme of this conference is entitled New Malaysia, New Beginning, New Opportunities. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a time when disruptions are commonplace. We can either see this as a threat or as an opportunity to move forward. To become the developed high-income nation Malaysia deserves to be, we cannot afford to remain comfortable with the status quo and the way how we do things, but instead to be ready and eager for change. Even established companies which have done exceeding well in the past can no longer afford to remain idle. Rather than wait for change to occur, we must become the change catalyst itself, developing new innovation and methods that will improve your business, moving towards more sustainable and green practices. As much as Innovations are important towards the development of businesses that lead hopefully to increase incomes for its employees and thus improving national wealth and public well-being. It is also important for us to take a step back and reflect on why we are doing this at all. For a long time, human activity has had an adverse impact on the planet. Around the world, we are seeing the effect of climate change taking place, affecting vast communities and countries. Increased sea levels threaten shore communities and infrastructures, and at the same time, intense drought and lack of rainfall in other areas affect crop production and threaten our food security and even our very survival. Subtle messages like the banning of plastic bags and straws is part of the federal government's effort to instill an environmentally friendly mindset. This comes not without its backlashes, challenged by people who are not only resistant to change, but are threatened not by the potential loss of the environment, but the loss of convenience. This mindset needs to be changed. Ladies and gentlemen, the topic today is towards a green economy, prospect for green energy and sustainable development. This is the direction, not just our ministry, MESEOF, but as a government, we are preparing to move towards a green economy. This is also happening regionally as the market demand for a more sustainable utilization of resources from the developed countries are growing in line with their commitments to the UN Sustainable Development Goals and the Paris Agreement under the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. First, let me just share about what the government is doing in moving towards a green economy. Yesterday, MESEOF has just launched our 73 initiatives that we will be working on for 2019. Out of the 73 initiatives, 9 of them from the energy sector are focused on green energy through our renewable energy target of achieving 20% of RE in our electricity generation mix by 2025, as well as through the energy efficiency, where we target to achieve 8% savings of electricity usage by 2025. The government is committed to achieving our targets and have already announced several key policies to enhance the uptake of investment into RE and EE. For example, we have announced in October last year the net energy metering policy. At the same time, we are currently promoting energy efficiency initiatives by working on developing the Energy Performance Contract EPC, specifically for government buildings. The government has decided to take the lead to initiate these in our government buildings as a way to develop the industry as well as being the role model for others, especially the private sector, to follow suit. As for the science, technology and innovation sector, STI, we have another 5 initiatives that is moving our nation towards a green economy. Also in October last year, we launched our Zero Single-Use Plastic Roadmap to reduce and replace the existing single-use plastics. As MESEOF also looks into the R&D aspects of a greater utilization of our rich biological resources to develop biodegradable products to replace these hydrocarbon-based plastics. We are also looking into ways to increase our usage of these biological resources beyond biodegradable plastic, but also in other industries, including healthcare. Financing will be a key component in growing these green industries in Malaysia. We have set up a task force to specifically look at ways to enhance our green financing capabilities to attract more investments into green industries that will support our sustainable development goals. At large, part of sustainable development involves the environment For the 2019, we have 20 initiatives under MESEOF's Environment and Climate Change sector. Environmental quality monitoring and protection is one of the key areas for us to improve on in order to ensure that our environmental heritage is not sacrificed in the name of development. We will be doubling up on the enforcement actions, increased engagement with various stakeholders, as well as improving public education programs to ensure that the environment is well looked after as our nation continues to progress towards a developed nation. Climate change is also an area of utmost importance, as we can see the impact of climate change beginning to affect more people, especially from this region. We will be drafting a Climate Change Act together with the setting up of a National Climate Change Center to look in depth on the mitigation and adaptation plans to increase our preparedness to face the various scenarios of climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, the government cannot be working alone on this crucial agenda. We need everyone in this room to play their part and work together in order for us to achieve our goals. As leaders of your respective industries, the ball truly is in your hands. Efforts pushing for greater sustainability cannot be limited to the things we recycle, reducing the use of straws and plastic bags. This is just a bare minimum of what we should already be doing. Instead, all of us need to push for change in our business and operational processes. For too long have we taken it for granted that environmental resources are an entitled right because of its abundance, but fail to measure the long-term cost and impact on our future generations, which far exceeds the gains. We have also been too silent whenever the environment is being ravaged. Being diplomatically correct or not daring to offend customers who want the cheapest option, being worried about scaring off potential investors or business partners with the fear of denying ourselves of profit. This is the essence of what is going on, a phenomenon in the marketplace we regrettably commonly see, yet often lack the courage and will do what is right. Sometimes we have been blinded with greed and other times with pride. The Malaysian government, particularly my ministry, is also aware of the role it must play to bring about solution to environmental problems. Therefore, we look forward to partnering with each one of you to explore new ways of how we can find a more sustainable path that is beneficial to business and to the environment. While it is understandable that additional costs are primary deterrents for companies to employ green solutions in fear of losing their competitive cost advantage to competitors, we must also understand that the world is moving towards a green economy, as big international companies are now paying premium prices for green solutions. I urge organizations, particularly businesses, to set aside time, resources, and manpower to look into the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. During today's forum, I hope speakers will not only talk more how to achieve greater development only in terms of dollars and cents, but also how we can all find new ways of doing things sustainably. I believe the inculcation of such a culture is the catalyst for change we all need. Only then we can genuinely experience new beginnings, new opportunities, and of course, a new Malaysia. That is my aspiration. I hope it's the aspiration we all can share too. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and successful Malaysian Economic Strategic Outlook Forum. Thank you.